Thanks for watching, everybody. All right, there's a lot of theory and instructors and instruction. This is just going to be golf. So my normal golf, the golf that I play, is usually once a week on the Fred Tour. The Fred Tour is basically just my friend Fred sets up tee times and I play with Fred. And we have other people that come and play with us. But Fred is a very good golfer and a great competitor, great athlete throughout his whole life. And playing against him is very difficult and very fun. So I know I can tell what level of golf I'm at just based on how I do in these Monday rounds with Fred. Okay, so I got here a little early, not super early, but a little early to try to get warmed up. And this is something that I've been doing here sometimes when I warm up, is you put it right on the edge of the range mat like this. And then that way, I'm kind of thinking about what Kathy Schmidt said and some other things, getting more full extension just after the ball. So I'm trying to hit the ball and then kind of extend afterwards. I did hear someone say, I forget who it was, golf warm-up wise or whatever, that if you really had not much time, you'd probably be better served just like going for a light jog or doing some squats or something like that, just to get your heart pumping more than anything. So if you mix in some ball striking. All right, so this is this hand torque stuff that I did a video about a while ago that I'm trying to incorporate into my swing. It's a bit like, there's elements of the Malaska move in there. So it's kind of similar to that. All right, so the first hole at this course is, I have to pull up the scorecard, but the first hole is something like 295 yards or something like that, and it's a dog leg right. So if you hit it dead straight, you'll actually hit it right up against or over the fence. So it actually has to shape to the right. So the first one was good. The second one would be fine on any other hole, but that would be out of bounds on the course. So you really have to kind of set your shape before you hit the first tee. Now that's perfect. That's exactly what I would want to do in the first hole. This is a Recreation Park golf course in Long Beach, California. It's a par 72. It's short, but it only has 3 par 3s, and it's just got, and that's also would be really good for the first hole. It's actually one of my favorite courses to play, just because you'd never really get bored of it. It's got a lot of character. Okay, the first hole is 295 yards. It's a dog leg to the right. There is out of bounds straight ahead. So usually a lot of people will hit like a hybrid or something like that.
All right, play with sure, yeah.
All right, right here we're
Everybody
setting up
just
the game. So we do this thing called slams usually, where every 3 holes is a slam. So if you get it even par, you get a slam. If you get it under par, you get a double slam. And then it counts the total score as well against the other players. So here we go. Okay, I got my 3-wood, and I'm going to try to hit it well and make it fade a little bit. And that was just like on the range. That was really good. It's fading to the right. That's perfect. All right, so we're going to keep up with how Fred does a little bit today too, because this is who I'm playing against. Fred is taking I think it's a 5-wood. Yeah, it's a 5-wood off the tee. And he hits a good shot, but the grip on the club was loose or something, but he's fine. All right, so after a good drive, I am sitting here. The grass is kind of wet. I hit a really nice chip, but that was with a 56-degree wedge. I've got to talk to Scott from Scott Golf because I really want to order 3 new wedges. My wedges are like a hodgepodge, and none of them are good anymore. All right, the second hole is 296 yards, but it's uphill. So the first 2 holes are very short, and you really don't want to just not do anything crazy on the first 2 holes. They're not difficult, so you just want to kind of get your round started. So I'm going to hit driver, and I'm going to try, usually I try to hit it to the right side, just in front of the green side bunker. All right, that's fine. That's just to the right, and it won't hurt me. It ain't crush it, but it's fine. All right, Fred hit a good shot also up the right-hand side. So I think I shot it. It's a I can't use a tracer. You can't really see it because it's directly into the sun. But I shot it. I think it's like it was a blue flag, and I think I shot it at 70 yards or something like that. But maybe it couldn't have been 70 yards. I forget what it was, but it wasn't that far, and I hit it too far, and I barely touched it. I think it was like 58 yards or something like that. I'm not sure. It's a big green. Anyway, so I have this remaining for my birdie, but it's like from a lot of fringe. All right, so if I can choose, I'll usually choose to putt over chip, and this is going through quite a bit of fringe, and I wrapped it good, but hit great speed on it, and it was good enough to be given by Fred, who really won't. But the way we play, we really don't give anything that could be possibly be missed. So that was inside of probably about 13 inches, so he gave me that. And that's a par after the second hole. So I'm even par through 2 holes, going to the third hole. All right, now this gets a little tougher. This is 412 yards. There is out of bounds on the left if you really hit it far, and it's tree lined. But if it's a decent drive, it's not too hard. You just can't really try to bite off too much. You just hit a solid drive and you're fine. All right, that was a good drive. It was a bit on the toe, but that's fine. And it was right down the middle, so I really like that one. I'm not like driver has always been the thing I struggle with the most recently. I've been hitting 3-wood a lot. It seems like the more I hit 3-wood, the better my driver gets as well. So, all right, here's Fred, and Fred didn't hit it too grand, but it went dead straight right down the middle. Okay, so I forget what I had. That's the 100-yard marker there. So I think I have 130 yards in or something. I have a pitching wedge, maybe 125, something like that. I have a pitching wedge, and for some reason I was thinking about like egregiously pulling this, so I just did the total opposite of that and hit a block. And not only did I miss the green, but the bunker there is close to the edge of the green, and I hit just barely in the bunker, and then it kicked. And you can't really see here, but this is really difficult because it's on a downslope, and I don't have a ton of green to work with. I'm trying to check out the lie here. So I'm just going to try to be smart and take my medicine and just do whatever I can to get it out of this bunker and hopefully have a putt. But I went from just like a perfect position off the tee to this, and I've only got here because I was scared. For some reason I was scared of pulling it rather than just getting up and hitting a normal shot. But I extricated myself pretty nicely there and got it to stay at least on, I think, some fringe. It might actually be in some rough too. All right, this is for par, but not really trying to do anything other than get it close. And like I said, on this, there's no like real putts of consequence that would be given. It's basically a lot like playing a tournament. So this one was not given to me, where I would not have given this to me either. It's downhill, and I can't really tell the break, but I wanted to show the full routine. I've been holding out really well recently. I did do some aim point stuff recently, but I haven't been doing it again other than just kind of feeling it a little bit more with my feet than I used to. But what really has been helping me with short putts has been, you see I'm wearing my Apple Watch, and I've been putting my fingers, of my trail hand, the fingers of my trail hand in a certain way against my watch band. And doing that really makes it very consistent, and I'm able to like kind of maintain the pressure through the putt. All right, so that was a bogey, so I'm 1 over. This is the 4th hole, 360 yards. It goes back up the hill. This is not a hard hole, but you do have to hit some kind of a good drive. Fred hit a good drive, and I'm off there. And you can see, I don't know what I was thinking about, But my main issue with driver is I set up with the face in a hooded or shut position, and then I further hood it in the first foot of the backswing. So I just hooked this so badly over the trees that and it was right into the sun, so I couldn't see at all where it went, other than I know I hooked it. So then I hit a provisional that I blocked way to the right. I got lucky, and I had hit the fence or the net and stayed in bounds. You can hear all the cars in the street just behind where the camera is. So I got really lucky to stay there. There's a big, when you hit the net, there's a big scuff, not a scuff, but that it gets your ball super dirty. So it's got a big scuff on it. So I'm like 130 or 40 yards out from the green. So I think I'm trying to punch this 5 or 6 iron. I'm not sure what it was. I hit it pretty good, but too far left. But then I hit a tree, and it got knocked straight down there. So this is a disaster. So that was my second shot. Now here's my third shot here, and I didn't tilt the camera down to see the ball. But this is my third shot from 100 yards up the hill. This is with a 56-degree wedge, and I hit it hard. I hit it good, too. And from this angle, I couldn't see. I thought maybe I was like inside 5 feet or something, because it looked really good from that angle. But it backed up a little bit. So there's the hole. So this is, after all that, this is for a 4. There's the street I almost hit it into. There's my left-hand low with the watch. And I got my fingers in a certain way on the watch band. Kind of presets me. And man, that was just such a good putting stroke. So that was a great par. He said birdie, and no, that was a par. Yeah, so that was a really good 4. I remained 1 over. All right, going to the uphill par 3. This is 145 yards. It's because it's a blue pin. 145 yards up the hill. This is when this hole plays downhill, it's one of my favorite par 3s. It's just really pretty. Uphill, you don't really get to enjoy the shot or whatever. Okay, I said 147. Fred hit it just short of the green, and then it rolled backwards because it's up this like huge wall. All right, so I have an 8-iron, and I can hit just like a little less than a normal 8-iron. And that was probably my best iron shot of the last couple weeks. That was really good. It actually hit right next to the pin and spun backwards quite a bit, which I thought was interesting. All right, so there I am. My ball mark, you can can't really see it. Oh, my ball mark is there. That is my ball mark. So my ball mark was right next to the pin, and then it spun back to there. So that was really good. All right, so this is a putt for birdie up the hill. And the greens here and the whole course right now is in just absolute awesome shape. But I could not get used to the speed at all. All right, so this is a short putt. You can barely see where the hole is. It looks shorter than it is because the camera's zoomed in. But this was not given, and rightfully so. But I hit a really great short putt. I mean, making short putts like that when you have to is super, super satisfying feeling. All right, the next hole, is this the number 1 handicap hole on the course? It is. 460-yard par 4. It's into a little bit of wind. That I hit the shot, and I didn't see it at all. It turned out that it was thin a little bit, but it was perfectly down the middle. So this is a provisional just because I didn't see the first one, but we ended up finding the first one. Right in the middle. Here it is. All right, so I have, what is this, 180 yards in. So this is I tried to hit like an easy 5-iron or something like that, and it was lazily out to the right. And I ended in this position here. So luckily, I guess it missed the bunker, but you can see like it's kind of, the grass here is either sitting down or sitting up. So, and these shots are shots that I have to improve around the green. Like, I'm making good contact now, but my distance control is not great. All right, so this is for a par. on this par 4. I'm 1 over already right now, I think. I'm sorry, no, I'm even par right now because I birdied the first hole. All right, but now I'm 1 over because I just bogeyed that hole. All right, here's the 7th hole. This is 428 yards. It's a bit of a dogleg right. This is a really good-looking hole on the second shot. The first shot, that's the Pacific Coast Highway to the left. All right, so Fred hit a really good drive down the right-hand side. I hit a bit of a pool draw, so it's fine, but it's in an okay spot, but not great. It's the one thing that I have a really hard time doing is putting the club down in a position where I don't already have it a little closed. So I'm trying to hit all my shots with the face a little open to the path, like just a bit. So now I have, I think, 190 yards or something because I pulled it some. So this is a 5-iron again. And I hit this solid, just the face was just a little bit open, which is better than how I would usually miss it. So I landed just pin high to the right, but off the green. So I said I gotta really think about my short game here. Okay, so this is where I am. So I am off the green, so I'm going to be chipping this. All right, so this is my 3rd shot on this 428-yard par 4. Great impact. I just landed it on the low side and hit it too far. Should have had the face more open and swung less. All right, so there's the hole, and this is a difficult putt for par. And so I'm getting, you can kind of see the structure from this side-on view of my putting setup. Maybe I'll do, if you want, put it in the comments if you want me to do a video on how I'm putting this way. All right. It's just really, really good routine and really good length of stroke. That was great. So that's a par, and I remain 1 over. Okay, this is the 8th hole, 412 yards. Flat for the tee shot and then downhill afterwards. Same thing, I can just tell in my setup, I'm just not set up to hit the shape that I want to. I wanted to hit kind of a draw on this one, where I should probably never be hitting draws right now. And my stance was too open. I had a stance, kind of like a cut stance. Anyway, I hit it in the left trees. It's not great. All right, and Fred had a really good drive. I forget what Fred is at this point, score-wise, but suffice it to say, we're like neck and neck the whole day. 166.
You gotta keep it kind of low.
All right, 166. I got to keep it kind of low. I'm going to hit a 5-iron, but it's 166, but it's like 20 or 30 feet below me. So I actually hit it through the hole that I wanted and everything. It was just too big of a swing. Like, course strategy-wise is like not being smart or doing well. So I hit a good shot to like a bad spot. See how long right I am? And not only am I long right, but I'm long right to a back pin. So now I have like no green to work with. And this is not a strength of mine anyway. Distance control with short-sided wedges. Like so contact. And landed it on the green, but it's just like barely a hope for par. There's the hole there. This is Fred. This is putting. He's got the lab putter now. He's been putting really well with him. That was for par though, because he had a problem off the his approach shot. But great putt there. All right, this is me putting for par on this hole. This is to stay 1 over. Yeah, the stroke, especially from this angle, that looked really good. But same thing, I've been not adjusting to these greens, the speed of these greens. They are pure, but they are a little slow. They're just a little slower than I'm anticipating all day. I just can't get them all the way there. So that's for bogey, and that's really good. That was a really good. It felt really good to clean up like that. I just need to be a little bit more bold with those first shots. All right, because of the position of the tee, where the tee box was, it was all the way back. I did not film the tee shot, but this is where my second shot is on the par 5. This is 480 yards or so, something like that. It's a short par 5. So that's where my ball is after my tee shot. It actually hit a tree and then kicked here. So I have like I think 213 to the hole or 211, something like that. So I got my hybrid here. I'm going to try to hit a bit easier of a hybrid shot, and that was just awesome. It felt really good. I have this old Adams Idea Tour Proto hybrid that I love this club. I wish all my clubs felt like this.
I thought it had to sit, had to go a little bit. That's good.
All right, so I'm sitting here. This is a putt from well off the fringe for eagle, but I wouldn't chip this. I just feel like I could putt this a lot better. And that was judged really nicely. So I've got not much for birdie there. I wasn't sure if Fred was going to give it to me, so I marked it. And then after Fred made his par, he said, good birdie. And you can see I took it. I was kind of shocked by that. I mean, it was less than 2 feet. It was about, what, 23 inches, maybe. But, and I would have made it, but I was still surprised and actually slightly relieved, probably, I should say. All right, so this is the 10th hole. This is 426 yards way downhill. So you can actually hit some gigantic drives in this hole. Same thing, though, that I've done a couple times where everything's just like a little hooded. Everything's closed to itself. So I hit it down there and then did not frame the camera very nicely. So I think I have like 155 yards or something. And I have gosh, I don't remember. I think I have a 9-iron. I think I have an 8-iron that I was trying to hit easy. And just thinking back to it, like why? Like why did I have so much club? Sometimes you get like a range mentality or a flat ground mentality where you don't take into account anything. You just hit every shot like you're on the range, which is not smart. So that went way too far, and then half flubbed that chip, and I have that remaining for par. That's just not good. Anytime I really need to be very, like I'm short-sighted or it's like downhill once it hits the green, I'm being like, I do something weird. If I can't be aggressive with my pitching motion, then it can get a little flubby. All right, better shot of my putting grip there. All right, that was a good stroke, but that's after being, so I was one over on the front, 37, and now I am 2 over. Okay, going to the 11th hole. This is 360 yards. It's a dogleg right. You hit it uphill and then you come back down to about the same level. That was a beautiful drive. I kind of have this like Jordan Spieth feel to like when I play cuts that I like. I can see he's like torquing something with his hands when he's been playing recently. And then I forgot to hit the second shot. I think I only had like 60 yards to the middle. And then forgot to film my second shot, or I hit the button wrong. So this is Fred putting for birdie, and I just want to show this because this is like maybe a 65-foot putt, and it's downhill, sloping to the right. This is like a super difficult putt. But this was probably golf-wise the most impressive thing I saw all day. From our angle, you can see just what a good arc it is on that putter. And just the speed control is absolutely crazy. That was an awesome putt. Okay, so Fred makes a par, and this is my putt after seeing Fred's line. But after it gets to the hole, it gets really fast. And I'm like having this nice, smooth, buttery stroke, but I'm not getting anything even close to that. That was horrible. All right, so I've got to really lock in. So Charlie hits his putt, And then I really got to focus on this. Thought I jammed it a little too hard, but that was great. All right, so that's a par for me. Okay, so this is the number 12th hole. 137 yards. Today is playing like 129 or something because it's way in the front. So, I mean, trying not to make too much of this. Hit a good pitching wedge, and I'm just on the front of the green. All right, so this is my putt for birdie. It was an okay pitching wedge. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like a good pitching wedge, but it was okay. Mission accomplished. Par threes, I'm really just trying to make threes. All right, so my putt for birdie. That was that actually had pretty good speed. Still short, but it was only like 2 inches short rather than like 10 feet short. So that's a par for me. I remain 2 over. The 13th hole is a short par 4. 304 yards. It's probably 299 to the front or something like that. 298 to the front. And you can kind of see what I'm working on in my takeaway there. This is like the best drive of the year for me. I haven't hit this green in a long while, years. And I hit it. I landed it just in front of the green, and I'm still watching it because it's rolling up, and it's going right at the stick. And there's friends of ours are in the group in front of us. And later they were like, "No, great shot." I didn't think I would get it all the way there. So that was awesome. All right, this is the eagle putt from 18 feet. I was able to walk it out. So I was not doing the thing where I was kind of thinking the opposite of, okay, get it there, at least get it there. I was thinking like, okay, don't juice this by 5 feet. So I hit that and it came up short. But I've been short of, I mean, you can't really say that that's because of any kind of situation or anything. I've been short of every green. So I hit it to not even a tap in. It's less than 3 feet, but in this game, this is definitely not going to be good, especially for birdie. So this is me putting for birdie, and then actually in the game that we're playing, this is really important. And I just would have been that was great speed. First of all, I just would have been so embarrassed to do that. And then, so I'm going to try to hit it again. And Fred is just tearing me apart here because that effort. He's like, okay, hit it past 3 feet,
if you
but
knocked
don't.
it by that far, cool, but.
All right. Not my most shiny moment with the putter, but that was the best drive I've hit in a long time. Okay, this is a par 5. What is it? 512 yards. Dog park to the left. All of Long Beach to the right, but that one was a little too far right. You can just see like something happens with the club when it doesn't replane, and again gets that weird Webb Simpson kind of loopy look in the finish when my ball goes out to the right. It has something to do with being afraid of that hook. Okay, so I hit it out to the right, so now I need to shape it from left to right a little bit. I have a good lie though, and I'm just loving this 3-wood. I wish I loved my driver as much as this 3-wood. And this was just an absolutely ripped, awesome shot. I didn't have enough to get it to the green, but man, I hit that exactly like I want to hit my 3-woods. Okay, so match recap. Fred and I are still effectively tied, but he's playing better on the back than I'm playing. And I'm playing okay on the back, but Fred is really playing pretty well. And he just hit his shot from 68 yards to like 6 inches. And this is an area of my game that I just need to get a little better at. I landed it just where I wanted to, but it didn't spin at all, and it jumped from landing short of the pin all the way to here. So I think that's one of the reasons that I need new wedges, but also I need some kind of more deliberate clock system or something. So I'm actually going through a little bit of rough, then fairway, then green, and I judged all that really nicely. So that was it was to about 8 inches, so that's a par there. This is the 15th hole, so it's an interesting thing here. If you come out and watch the Long Beach match play,
Yeah.
Whenever they have it at
Yeah, they don't care.
Rec Park, which is, I think, one of the best venues for any match play tournament. It's really good when they have it here because if you're a long hitter, you can get it on 13. You can get to 14 and 2. You can hit it on this one, the 329 yard, slightly
Yeah,
downhill.
when you
15th. So it's like chipping for eagle or putting for eagle sometimes like 3 or 4 holes out of 5. Something like that, because the 17th you can also get it on into. So it's really interesting, but there's actually there's out of bounds all over the place, especially up the left hand side. So you got to be like, if you want to be able to attack this course, you just have to miss it in the right spots. The same thing with the wedge there. Not super great distance control. Actually landed it kind of where I wanted to, but the type of grass, the kikuyu grass that's in front of these greens will not really release. So I'm left here. This is for my birdie from the fringe. Stroked it nicely, but they say everything pulls towards that dog park here or away from the clubhouse. So that went directly towards the dog park there, and left me this for my par. I've just been cleaning up so nicely recently. So what I do is I've been putting my middle finger and my ring finger against my watch in this certain area. And as a left-hand low golfer, that's been working out pretty good. This was 145 yards uphill. I think actually it was 139 yards uphill. Now long is the parking lot, and that does come into play sometimes if you're not thinking about it or if you really mishit it. But it doesn't happen that often. So I hit an 8-iron pin high. I was just trying to hit like what felt like a neck-to-neck 8-iron. And I have this remaining for my birdie. And again, I just cannot get anything to the hole. This is going to be a really difficult cleanup here for my par. Still, what am I? I'm 1 over par. After the birdie on 13, I'm 1 over par for the day. So I have this remaining for par on the 16th hole. Just want to show the routine a little bit because something my son and I have been working on a lot more. Being kind of like relaxed and more calm with the routine. Picking the line from behind the ball. 2 practice strokes, then should be 2 looks, and go. That was really good. Really good speed on those and length of backswing. I think usually when people are missing short putts, the backswing length gets really long. Fred hit it right down the middle. Now this hole is a par 5. It's 500. Okay, the other par 5 was 522. This one's 512. So the only thing you want to do here is avoid the bamboo on the left because that's just an automatic lost ball. They need that bamboo there to protect the 11th tee box. So it's got to be there, but it is like, it's worse than going in the water because water, at least you can, if you're short of it, you can hit over it. So Fred, after his tee shot, hit a really good second to draw. He's trying to fade everything, but there he was able to actually hit a low draw. And I hit it left, but then I guess it hit a tree and bounced back into the fairway, or maybe it. But this was a hybrid, and I hit this so good. Probably too much club because I hit it better than I was expecting. I was trying to kind of hit it kind of chippy, but it went like 220 yards over the green. So I have this remaining I have to get this up and down for birdie. So you can see it's because I'm like, this is the worst place to miss on almost any green is because now you're short-sided because it's a blue pin, which means it's in the back. And you have to land it on an area that's sloped from front to back. So it's going to be fast once you land it. So if I had hit this ball with any of those practice swings, that would have been good. But you can see the real swing. Trying to get a little delicate, trying to not hit it too hard, and Just costing myself a stroke here. And then that chip was no good either. So I two-putted for bogey. So going from absolutely like lucky on the drive and then absolutely perfect, just the wrong distance, to making a really unforced bogey. Yep. All right. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you guys watched this far, let me know that you saw the whole thing. And I'm thinking about, there is some other stuff coming up with Be Better Golf that's really exciting. I'm going to be traveling back to Florida, but that won't be for a while. And I'm going to be traveling to see Mike Malaska in August. But I have to start playing more and playing better because I think I'm going to be doing something at where they have the Players Championship, TPC Sawgrass. So I've got invited to go out there, and I really want to start playing more. So if you have any good tips for me or things that I should do, let me know. And click the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Bye. Oh, I didn't say. End result of the match. Fred and I shot the exact same score, 75. Fred made birdies late, so I owed him $1.